My name is Atishay Jain and I'm the founder of HyperKe. For the last 6 years, we've worked with at least 100 marketing agencies. Everything from small agencies in small towns in Alabama to the larger ones that have existed for over 30 years in Manhattan, New York. And from doing this, we've collected a lot of insight on what works and what doesn't when it comes to signing local service businesses as customers, and if you're selling SEO, website design, marketing services to these customers. In this video, I'm going to dispel exactly how to find more clients, whether to work locally within your markets or to go national, and what channels to use to consistently and predictably acquire new clients. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first question that we want to address is, should you go national with your customers or should you first try to maximize business from your city and your state? The answer to this is it depends on three things. First, if you start a marketing agency and your first few customers are all local, people who you met face to face, you should look at expanding and maximizing the number of clients you can acquire locally, right? And that's because if something goes wrong, and things will go wrong, you're able to visit these clients, see them face to face, and build trust so that they don't cancel at the smallest inconvenience, right? You can get these clients, keep them longer, and have them use them to build your case studies, build up social proof. That's going to help you sign customers all over the country, right? If you're starting out as a marketing agency, the most important thing that you can do is build social proof, and it's easier done when you're living in physical proximity to your clients. So number one, if you're small, if you're just starting out, focus on local businesses, get business from there, deliver excellent results for them, build social proof. Number two is a lot of agencies, they sign exclusivity contracts. So if you're working with a dentist in your city, you cannot work with any dentist from the same city. Now, if you're the type of agency that offers exclusivity within your contracts, that basically limits you to 4 or 5 businesses, after which you just cannot target those industries from your city. So in that case, if you're offering exclusivity as part of your contracts, you will need to go national as soon as you sign a few good clients. Now, my recommendation is to not offer exclusivity unless the customer asks for it. And if they ask for it, you got to make sure that you're charging them a premium for it. I've seen so many agencies leave money on the table because they assume that they are exclusive. They offer exclusivity for free. You don't have to do that, right? When your clients come to you and they ask you if you're going to be only working with them, you can say yes, but it has to come with a cost. And you can mark your prices up as much as 50% if you're going to offer them exclusivity. And most businesses that really want exclusivity, they will not bat an eyelid in paying you that. And the third thing that you have to consider is whether or not you're able to work different time zones. If you're on the East Coast, you're going to be a few hours behind, if you're going to be a few hours ahead of the West Coast. So you want to make sure that you're okay with operating in different time zones. You might have to stay back a little late, and if you have a family or if you're very careful with your personal time, then that might be a consideration. The general guidance is a smaller agency should always start local, and eventually as you build social proof, you should look at expanding nationally. Now, the next question is, how do you go about and sign national clients? There's 3 parts to the process. First is you need case studies. You need to be building social proof that will allow businesses and business owners that do not know you, have never met you, don't even know you exist, to trust you because you worked with a business just like theirs, right? If you're sitting here in New Hampshire and you're talking to a client in Vegas, they are thousands of miles away from you. And unless you can tell them that you know exactly what kinds of steps are required to get them to their desired outcome because you worked with a similar business, they are not going to be able to trust you. So you need to spend time building case studies. Number 2, you need to build a consultative sales process. So when you're growing through referrals and when you're growing through word of mouth, your sales process is really just talking to a prospect, asking them, okay, what do you want? What website do you want? How many pages do you want? And then quoting them a price, right? Now, when you're trying to expand, you need to be talking to your prospects in their own language. Most businesses will come to you not because they need a website or not because they need SEO, but because they need to grow their business. So you need to be able to connect what you do to your target customers' end goals. If you're talking to a doctor, they want more patient appointments. If you're talking to a plumber, they want more jobs. If you're talking to a roofer, they want more roofs to be able to service. So you need to be able to talk to them in their language and tie your service as a mechanism to help them get to their desired outcome. And finally, only after you have the first 2 things dialed in, the third piece of the equation is your acquisition channel, right? So this is what you use to put yourself. If you simplify it, forget about all of the complexities of PPC and ads and SEO and all of those other channels. To put very simply, your acquisition channel is simply a mechanism that is going to put you, along with your case studies and your offerings, in front of your target customers. That is all. Now, there's several ways to do it. You can get in front of customers using SEO. You can invest in ads. You can invest in Google PPC. You can start running outbound campaigns. You can hire a company to make cold calls for you, or you can make cold calls yourself. Each of these channels have their own pros and cons. A quick rundown is SEO. It'll take time before you can start getting results, and you cannot turn off SEO. With ads, you have to pay money right off the gate, and the number of customers, the number of leads you get is going to be directly proportional to the amount of money you're willing to burn. With outreach, again, it takes a little bit of technical setup, because in 2025 and beyond, outreach is not easy. The world is tired of spammers, so you need to make sure you're setting up your infrastructure correctly, which, by the way, is what we can offer to do for you. If you want to learn more about that, click the link in the description. And the same thing applies with cold calls. You need to be either making cold calls all day, and there's only a finite amount of time in the day, or you need to hire and train someone to make cold calls for you. So to grow as a marketing agency, you need to pick one of these 4 channels. My recommendation, obviously, and I'm a little biased, is go with cold outreach, because 1, it's scalable. 2, it doesn't take as long as SEO. 3, you don't have to burn money like you are doing with ads. And 4, the results you get are not tied to the amount of hours you invest. So that's all in a nutshell. How to start as an agency: start local. When you're ready to grow nationally, start collecting case studies. Put those case studies in front of your target customers all over the country. Make sure you're leveraging the right acquisition channels: outreach, ads, SEO, or cold calls, and put a good offer in front of them. You will sign customers.